Let's talk about work. Is your work safe? Do you earn what you were promised? Do you have a contract that explains your rights? If not, there's something you can do. At the Work Rights Centre, we believe that everyone has the right to work that is fair, safe, and that pays. Getting your employment rights starts with finding out your employment status. An employee who works regularly enjoys the highest level of protection. A casual or 0 hours worker has many rights too. As for the self-employed, their rights are limited, but they are still entitled to the pay they were promised. Remember, even if you don't have written terms and it all seems informal, if you work regularly, long-term, for someone who controls what you do, you are at least entitled to the protection of a worker. If you work on an occasional basis, you are at least entitled to pay and safety. So let's get to it. Step 1. Once you know your employment status, it's time to talk to your boss. Try to negotiate your terms, suggest ways to settle, and remind them that you are legally entitled to a number of protections. Step 2. Start to gather evidence. Any text messages or phone logs, emails, pictures, timesheets, or witnesses that may support your case. Step 3. Write a letter to your boss. Use the evidence to write a grievance letter, or, if you've stopped working, a letter before action. Outline the issue. Suggest a solution. Do you need back pay? A contract? Annual leave? Then, give your boss a time to address it. Always send the letter by recorded delivery. Step 4. If nothing happens, it's time to go to court. If you think you're self-employed, you can take your boss to the small claims court. If you're a worker or an employee, first contact the Advisory, Conciliation and Arbitration Service. ACAS will try to mediate the issue. If that fails, you can finally take your employer to the Employment Tribunal. It sounds complicated, but we can help at the Work Rights Centre. Take a moment to learn more on our website or visit us for a free and confidential consultation. And remember, everyone has the right to work that is fair, safe, and that pays. Work Rights Centre, www.workrightscentre.org.
Hi, my name is Mumtaz Mutin. Today I will talk about employee right violation. So, what is employee's right? Employee rights are described as the ability to have employers treat them fairly. Employee rights related to job protection, privacy, and union representation. Simply explained, employee rights are policies in place to safeguard employees in a company. Knowing employees' rights as an employer can help avoid potentially destructive situations. Employee rights are frequently violated simply because the employer is unaware of the law or believes that their actions are acceptable. Keep in mind the rights that each employee has and consider how might be failing employees. Violation must be avoided at all costs, as the consequences of non-compliance can be severe. A lawsuit could be filed against the company and a life judgment could be imposed. Here are some of the most typical sorts of violation of workplace rights. First is failure to pay minimum wage. Second is employee misclassifications. Third is denies the right to form or join a trade union. And lastly, failure to pay for work breaks and so on. Review incidents. Walmart's management was resistant to workers forming a union that could help them improve their working conditions and have a channel to address their issues with the company. Workers from the world's largest retailer are gathering, but an increasingly dissatisfied workforce at home and overseas is planning a protest. The National Labor Relations Board sued the firm in 2013 because of poor salaries. According to the NLRB, Walmart was violating workers' rights and exploiting foreign workers by paying salaries below the minimum wage and denying overtime to employees. The firm was also pressuring the employees' union in this matter. According to the lawsuit, Bangladeshi laborers work 7 days a week from 7:45 a.m. to 10 p.m. for about 6 months without taking a day off. The situation is serious. A total of 1,239 people was murdered in a building collapse outside of Dhaka and a factory fire last year, and another 450 were reported unwell last week. Some of whom were hospitalized after drinking contaminated water at another company. When employees try to perform, they are harassed and abused, according to Kalpana Akhtar, which is a former child textile laborer from Bangladesh. Workers have no option but to put up with the condition, and they have a little choice because this is their most important industry.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Tazkia. Okay, today I want to propose a solution for this problem. That is, it will be advisable for Walmart to form a legitimate employees union that is run independently and negotiate on behalf of workers on issues such as low pay. Establishing a professionally managed union for the workers will be suitable to use it as a forum for voicing their problems rather than going to court, which will be detrimental to the company's reputation. What's more, advocating for such a union will allow the company to retain workers for an extended period of time because the union will assist the company in managing workers-related issues. As a conclusion, following the review and analysis, we recognize that workers' compensation is a very important issue that a company's management should consider because it influences workers' motivation, retention, overall productivity, and also a company's performance in an industry. Apart from the company's responsibility to guarantee that employees are adequately compensated, there are rules and regulations governing employee pay. Okay, as a result, corporations must ensure that their compensation system adheres to the rules and regulation established by authorities. For the reflection, first, we must know our rights and obligations as one of the most important things that we can do to prevent workplace problems. Second, it is important to correctly compensate employees in order to motivate them since it has a positive effect on a company's performance. And lastly, workers who are exploited have a negative impact on the company because the working environment does not meet their needs.